When I first sat down to write this script, I thought I was going to say classical conversations is fine, just be ready for more memorization than a kid should have to endure before breakfast. But after diving into hundreds of comments online, I've completely changed my mind. Forget the rosy sanitized views, you're about to get the real deal from parents who have lived it. So grab your popcorn or a quiet cup of coffee, I'm not judging, and let's jump into the truth about classical conversations. Oh, and comment down below if you want to win a $50 gift card. Tell me if you love it, hate it, or you're just here for the drama. Okay, first up, some mums are not fans of the marketing tactics at CC. One mum said directors are practically working for minimum wage. It boils down to they work a lot of hours with little compensation. They have to aggressively get people to enroll, and that was another huge turnoff for our local chapter, while the head office is making it rain. I find it interesting that so many people are saying that no one is getting rich, as if that is a mark of favour of CC. This is who is getting rich. No one is getting rich except CC. And no, I don't have a problem with Christian companies making money, but let's be clear about who is and isn't getting rich, and who is working for less than minimum wage in order for others to make lots of money. Cue side eye. The director's hands seem tied in a lot of ways that leaves them liable. That's code for someone's getting stressed out there. And here's the real kicker. There are complaints about legal concerns, which make it feel like a legal drama from Netflix, except, you know, with fewer sharks and more memorization charts. Secondly, let's talk about multi-level marketing. Some mums were kind of annoyed when this wasn't made clear. This one said they are MLM. I kept looking into it and I wanted to like it, but it always felt sketchy to me. Learning how the directors are treated was a huge turn-off for me. And one mum said she was invited 100 times to join. Okay, so maybe she was using hyperbole. Or maybe this is just CC's version of a sales pitch. I found that the gal who invited me 100 times makes money off everyone signing up. It's also upwards of $1,000 per child. If the person who invited her is a director, SR or AR, that person will absolutely earn money from people who sign up as a customer of that program. Yes, this is what I found to be true as well. I was disappointed because we were new to the area, and so I thought someone was being kind. Well, once I told them I was not interested in this program, she no longer has tried to get together. And she is a director. My impression of it was very MLM, multi-level marketing style. It wasn't comfortable at all, but I see why many people would go that route. Still, when parents feel like they're being chased for signups, like a real estate agent, it can feel a little much. Now let's move on to a different concern parents had with CC. Here's an interesting one. CC is a for-profit organisation, but a lot of their host churches are not for profit. Plenty of mums were like, I think it's shady when they use churches to push for their profits. Other parents don't mind, and they're like, it's fine, I guess, as long as my kid gets in their 50th memorization fact for the day. Other parents spoke about the buying friends dilemma. One mum dropped this bombshell. If you have to buy friends, they're not your friends. She said, proof is when we left, no one talked to us again. Talk about a reality check. But some people felt the price was worth the community. This mum said, community is important for homeschooling. I'd say the number one reason I've ever heard of why families quit homeschooling is feeling isolated. After a year or so of getting your feet under you and meeting more homeschooling families, you could decide if you want to continue CC or do something different. Others are like, I just want friends who'll bring snacks and not invoice me for them. Now, after reading hundreds of comments about classical conversations, I've realized one thing. Classical conversations is completely dependent on the community and the effort you put into it. If your group is good, you'll love it. If not, well, you might feel like you've joined a bad reality show. One mum wisely said, if your CC group isn't good, keep looking for the one that is. So it's like dating. Sometimes you have to kiss a few frogs before you find your homeschool prince, or at least a decent CC community. But mums also said that you as the parent have to put in effort too. I think it's what you make it. Our first year, the community wasn't for us. Second, we found a new one and we love it. I think you'll get out what you put in. Classical education isn't for everyone. Yes. Now, let's talk about the cost. If you have a big family, you might need to take out a second mortgage to afford it. How much can I sell my kidney for? Can I sell 2 kidneys or will that kill me? One mum said they'd never afford it with their 5 kids. Another family said it totaled $70,000 over their kids' lifetime education, so it wasn't for them. They said we'd prefer to save that for college. So this is a price tag that might have you rethinking the whole community plus curriculum deal. So now, let's talk about memorization, because CC isn't just about the basics. It's about memorizing facts, especially in the younger years, like your kids are prepping for a spelling bee. Instead, it's history, Latin, and science facts instead of words. Some parents were all about it, saying they remember the facts. He is retaining a lot of memory work from foundations and is doing well with his writing and memory work in essentials. But they don't really understand them. But it does make a parent proud when their child can spout off all the memory statements. But unfortunately, there is little understanding of it. And interestingly, in the forums, there were mums who hadn't tried it and were scathing about it. It is very rigorous and a lot of repeating. I just can't get behind the whole memorize things but understand them later learning philosophy. It doesn't make sense to me either. But then there are others who've tried it and they give glowing testimonials. Training the brain to memorize is crucial to life, and memorizing is how kids in elementary are happiest learning. Memorizing like this didn't make sense to me in the beginning either, but let me tell you, my 13-year-old has now entered the aha stage of learning. She's applying all those concepts she memorized, and guess what? The work comes easier for her. She doesn't have to memorize the basics and learn the theory behind the information. She only needs to practice the theory and application. It's been pretty cool to see. My son can sing all the presidents, all the states and capitals, sing 50+ history songs and science statements. Sure, he doesn't know all the details on Napoleon, but he has the basics in a song that will stick forever. And at that age, taught in a fun chant or song that's easy to learn, it's not even that much work for them to acquire the information. It makes sense to me. But one thing is for sure about classical conversations, and that is that this is not an open and go curriculum. It's teacher intensive. Classical conversations, it's very teacher led and teacher intensive. We don't use it for this reason. My kids successfully used other curriculum that slowly taught them how to work independently. I very much feel that way too. I want something that's open and go. I use BJU Press. I'll link it down below. I love it because it's not teacher intensive like classical conversations. You really do have to be very involved if you do want to go with classical conversations. There was one mum even who mentioned that she volunteered as a tutor and got a reduced rate that way for her kids. And sure, you know, this sounds like a great deal if you're happy to spend your weekends teaching 10-year-olds how to memorize the difference between classical architecture and Greek gods. This mum said, you have to be committed to do the work at home in order for CC to work for you. She said the workload is pretty intense. Now, I know some of you are thinking, should I try classical conversation? Honestly, after reading some of these comments, I feel a little bit less enthusiastic than I did before I started researching. It seems like some mums want to swear by it and others want to swear at it. But hey, if you love classical education and have the budget or the kidney for it, go for it. Before you make up your mind though, make sure you absolutely understand the classical homeschooling method. Watch this video for a quick and fun intro into classical education. And if you're leaning into classical but don't want to sell your organs to get it, check out this video on other classical homeschooling programs. Do it before you commit. And don't forget to comment below for your chance to win $50. See you later.